Hello everyone! What is going on? In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing the 16-inch MacBook Pro. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So there's a pull tab right over here, and then it just works all seamlessly. The presentation is definitely nice. This new MacBook Pro box is pretty loud and colorful compared to the older generation from like 2016 to mid-2019. Let's put this to the side for a quick second. So in here, you have your Thunderbolt 3 charger. This is just Thunderbolt 3 to Thunderbolt 3 or USB Type-C to USB Type-C. In here, you have designed by Apple in California. So you just have your typical packaging, but the cool thing now with the 16-inch MacBook Pro is that you get color-matched Apple stickers. So these are now space gray instead of your typical white. And then lastly in the box, you have your power brick. So this is a huge power brick, and I believe this is 96 watts. So this is a huge brick that will be there to help charge this huge battery. Okay, so now we have the MacBook Pro, which is definitely covered with some nice, more environmentally friendly paper. You don't get that satisfying kind of peel over, but this is definitely more environmentally friendly. And here we go. Oh, this looks so nice. Oh look, it already turns on. I kind of cheated by already going to a Best Buy to take a look at the 16-inch MacBook Pro because I really just wanted to see how it was. I ordered this on November 16th and it's taken a solid 2 weeks for this to come. So I do apologize for this being a late unboxing, but unfortunately, I'm not as cool as MKBHD and I couldn't get my hands on an early model. Let me go ahead and set this up just real quick. Okay, so that was a super easy setup. That just took a few minutes. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the specs that I ordered on this MacBook Pro. So this is the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro with the 8-core 2.4 gigahertz Core i9 processor with 64 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM with the 8 gigabyte Radeon 5500M graphics card and with just the base 1 terabyte storage. So all in all, this was about $42.78, but with me being a college student, I got this for $3,900. So it was pretty good to save about $340 there. And I also saved about $40 on AppleCare. $378 or so is not bad in savings. My current laptop is a 2018 13-inch MacBook Pro with the Touch Bar. And so that's what I've been using for the last year and a half, year and a quarter or so. And so comparing it to this, this is just huge. I already thought that the trackpad on the 13-inch MacBook Pro was huge, but this is even crazier. The 16-inch MacBook Pro's Touch Bar is about the same height as my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and that is insane. So I already know that this trackpad is super amazing since I've been using basically the same one for the last year or so. But other than that, everything is just like bigger. The speakers are bigger, the screen is bigger, the trackpad is bigger, the body is bigger, and it's just crazy how huge this is. I don't know if you just need to check it out in a store, but I feel like photos and videos just don't do this justice because it just looks massive. It's almost overwhelming. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the differences with the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro that isn't on the previous 15 and 13-inch versions. So firstly, you have the 16-inch display. So now the largest MacBook Pro that is available goes from 15.4 inches to 16 inches. So you gain a little over half an inch there. And then the bezels are noticeably smaller compared to the 13 and the 15 inches. It almost feels edge to edge like the iPhones, but there is still a bit of a forehead at the top that can be shrunken down just a little bit. So while we're on the discussion of the screen, as I said, this is a 16-inch screen, but it is beautiful. It is a 3072 by 1920 display with the P3 color gamut, so that way it's very bright and very color accurate. The speakers are now better. So this has 6 speakers in it, 3 on both sides, but the cool part is 2 of the 6 are now the subwoofers that help to provide more bass, and it has this technology that basically helps to reduce vibration at higher levels, so that way it still sounds very clear and very deep. The chassis in general is just bigger in every direction compared to the 15-inch MacBook Pro. It's taller, it's wider, and it's deeper. Along with the dimensions, the weight also got bumped up. So I believe it went up from 4 to 4.25 from the 15 to the 16-inch MacBook Pro. And comparing this to my 13-inch MacBook Pro, it actually doesn't feel that much more heavier. It feels pretty light compared to when you're looking at this. You'd think it would weigh more, but it actually doesn't. And so although the size is a lot bigger than my 13-inch MacBook Pro, the size of it actually isn't that much heavier. So with that, you're able to get that larger screen, and you're also able to improve cooling. So I don't want to go ahead and talk about the weird specifications behind it because it's all very technical. I want to do a video in the future where I talk about the performance between this and the 13-inch, so that way we can get an idea of the real world differences. Another new and important spec of the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro is the fact that it has a 100-watt-hour battery, which is basically the max legal limit that you can take on an airport. So this is supposed to have, I believe, 11 hours of on-screen battery life if you're watching like movies and stuff. But for my use with video editing, I'll probably get significantly less, but that's okay because I almost always use a charger when I'm doing my video editing. That's just one of the good advantages of having that bigger computer in general, but sadly there's still only 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports with a headphone jack. I would have loved to see an SD card or even 1 or 2 more Thunderbolt 3 ports. Another difference with the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro is the improved microphone. So unfortunately, the FaceTime camera is still 720p, so the quality looks kind of garbage. But like I said, the microphone is supposed to be improved. So let me know what you guys think. Personally, I don't really care because I've never really used my microphone. If I ever need to FaceTime someone, I mostly use my phone. And then lastly, the biggest major difference with the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro is the keyboard. There is now a dedicated escape key compared to it being buried in the touch bar. The Touch ID sensor is now separated from the touch bar, and it now has a matte finish. I don't know if there's really any pros about that, but I guess it's just a design change that the MacBook Air actually already has. The arrow keys are now an inverted T, so compared to having a taller left and right arrow key, they're now the same size as the up and down key. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this change, but I guess enough people wanted the change and are happy for it, so I guess we'll see what happens. And then lastly, it now has this new sort of scissor key mechanism. So it's sort of a hybrid between the butterfly keys of the 2016 and 2019 MacBook Pros and with the scissor key from the 2015 and below MacBook Pros. So I believe this is called the Magic Keyboard, and just general impression, it feels very nice. The keys are a little smaller in size compared to my 2018 13-inch MacBook Pro, so there's a little more space in between each keys, and there's also a little more travel. But because of that, it should be a lot more reliable. So I have been a victim of the sticky key symptoms. So I haven't had a key fail on me yet, but I would say after just a few months, I've had to use compressed air on my keyboard, and I use it pretty much every other week because I find that my space key or my R key or just some other keys will get backed up with like dirt or with sand or with something. But now with this, since there's a lot more travel, less dirt and debris should get stuck in there, and so you should still be able to type, and it should be a lot more reliable. In terms of how it feels to type, it feels more travel-y. It's not as flat as the previous MacBook Pros, but it definitely feels sort of like a chiclet style keyboard. And so if you like that, then you like that. But for me, it's not too much of a difference. If you liked how the other ones typed in the past, it's just like a weird combination of the both between the 2016s and up and 2015s and below. So overall, I'm not mad at this change. I think it's a pretty good change. And if it improves reliability, then I'm all for it. So that's going to be it for the tech specs. The reason why I upgraded to the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro is mainly because of my job at Russell Tree Experts. So I pretty much use my MacBook Pro all the time over there for all of my video editing, and it sucks having to edit and record 4K drone footage and 4K video footage and have to edit it on a 13-inch MacBook Pro because there is no graphics card. So I wanted to go ahead and grab something that will last me for a solid 5 years or so and grab something that has a dedicated graphics card because this will definitely help me out with my Premiere Pro and After Effects editing at my job. But that's gonna be it for today's video. So let me know if you guys wanna see any more content with this MacBook Pro. I'll definitely plan on comparing it to my 13-inch MacBook Pro, and I might even compare it to my gaming computer and just see how the render times work. But I'm definitely down to record some more content based off of what you guys would like to see. Also, stay tuned for my next video where I will be unboxing a ridiculously expensive MacBook Pro leather sleeve. But with that said, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.